All right, everyone, please be seated. I hope you enjoyed your break. Witness, you're still under oath. States you may proceed.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
I'm handing you it's North States Exhibit 12. You would please just take a moment to look it over and refresh your memory.
All right, you can ask your question.
Thank you, Your Honor. So in the statement that you wrote, did you talk about the knife and scissors that the defendant used?
Señora.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you talk about what happened in the bedroom at his apartment?
No, señora.
No, ma'am.
Okay, I want you to turn to page 3, the last page. Did you talk about what the defendant did to your clothes in the bedroom?
Sí, lo escribí.
I did write it down.
Did you talk about the defendant wanting to have sex with you?
Perdón.
Excuse me?
Did you talk about the defendant wanting to have sex with you?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you describe what the defendant told you when he said he wanted to have sex with you?
Sí.
Yes.
And not reading directly from it, but from your memory and refreshing your memory, what did he tell you?
Él me dijo que me acostara en la cama. Yo no me quise acostar. Fue cuando me empujó.
He told me to lie down on the bed and I didn't want to lie down, and that was when he pushed me.
Me gritaba y decía que todo era mi culpa.
He was insulting me and he was telling me that everything was my fault.
Did he tell you to obey him when he said he wanted to have sex?
Yo no quería, pero él estaba insistiendo.
I didn't want to, but he was insisting.
I want you to look at page 2 of your statement. Did you talk about the injuries you received from the defendant?
Sí, señor.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you write them down?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
And is this a statement, when did you make this statement?
El día después,
The following day,
And what date was that?
el 5 de mayo del 2024.
May 5th, 2024.
So on May 5th of 2024, you talked about all the injuries you sustained.
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
The knife, the scissors, and a little bit about what happened in the bedroom.
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
Earlier, the defense asked you if you were worried about getting pregnant, and you said no. Why were you not worried about getting pregnant?
Porque no puedo tener hijos.
Because I can't have children.
And just to clarify, you can't have children anymore?
No.
No.
Did that happen after the birth of your son?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
On May 4th of 2024, when you were in the barber shop after the defendant assaulted you, you called 911?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 13. Do you recognize what this is?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
Es el audio cuando llamé al 911.
It's the audio from when I called 911.
On what date is that audio from?
Julio 31, 2025.
July 31st, 2025.
Sorry, that's when,
Aunque lo escuchamos.
go ahead.
La fecha fue el día que lo escuchamos.
That's the
No.
date when we heard it, right?
Okay, and is that how you know that this is the 911 call you made?
I heard it.
And is the 911 call how you remembered it?
Yes.
Okay. And is it your voice on this disc?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
And is it a true and accurate recording of the call you made?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
Back in the barber shop, can you describe for us the blade that the defendant used?
Es una navaja que se usa para afilar los cortes. Se cambian hojillas y se les vuelve a poner hojillas desechables, pero tienen el filo como de un bisturí.
It's a razor blade that is used to fade or blend in the haircuts. So the blades are interchangeable, but it's sharp like a scalpel.
Does it have a handle?
Yes.
What color or no? Give me just one moment. Is the handle attached to the blade that is used?
¿Perdón?
La
agarradera
está más junto
No entiendo.
I don't understand.
How do you open the blade?
La navaja son dos partes y se abren así. Ya, es una navaja. Se abre y abierta queda una sola. Ya es larga, solo que se dobla para cerrarla y se abre completamente para afeitar.
So the blade is in two parts. It's bent and you open it like this. So it's folded and then you open it and one part of it is the blade and it's very long and it's used to shave.
And the other part, is it a handle?
Sí,
Yes,
al doblarla, al abrirla, queda una parte segura para agarrarla y no tener como la persona cortar.
yes, when you open it, there's one safe part where you could hold it from and that way you don't cut the person.
I want to go back to the. I want to go back to the 911 call you made at the barber shop. Was the defendant still there whenever you made that 911 call?
Estaba dentro de su carro.
He was inside his car.
And then he came back in?
Sí, señor.
Yes, ma'am.
He came back in while you were still on the phone with 911?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you upset when you were calling 911 about what had just happened?
Judge, Your Honor, ask and answer.
Sustained.
Your Honor, may I approach?
The witness?
Yes.
Yes. All right, you all need a break? All right, so we're gonna go on a 10-minute break. Remember the court's previous instructions. All right.
All right, The way that the defendant was holding the knife to your neck, could that have killed you?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
You have up there State's Exhibit 14. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Do you recognize what this is?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
Es una de tantas fotos del señor Ángel Miguel.
It's one of many photos of Mr. Angel Miguel.
And is that how he looked around the date or on the date of this photo?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, State would offer State's Exhibit 14 into evidence pending any objection.
No objection, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, if I could see
Yes.
what it is. Here. Just so that I can mark it on my pad. Thank you.
May the state publish it? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Was it admitted?
yes.
May the state publish?
That's State's Exhibit 14 is admitted without objection.
Can you see this okay?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this, what is on his finger?
Es una argolla de oro.
It's a gold ring.
And what is on this finger?
Otro anillo.
Another ring.
Are these the gold rings that the defendant would wear?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
And are these the gold rings? Are these like the gold rings he had on when he hit you?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the defendant holding in this picture?
Una cerveza.
A beer.
And can you describe is it a beer? I'm sorry, is it a bottle or a can?
De cristal.
Glass.
And is this the type of beer in glass bottles that the defendant would drink?
Una de tantas, sí.
One of many, yes.
When the defendant took you to his apartment, did anyone know where you were at?
No, señora.
No, ma'am.
Did you have the opportunity to tell anyone where you were going?
No, señora.
No, ma'am.
State will pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense,
Yeah, 1 second, Your Honor.
yes.
Ma'am, you stated earlier that when my client assaulted you by punching you, he was wearing rings, correct?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did he always wear rings on different
Sí,
hands?
señor.
Yes, sir.
but you remember him wearing multiple rings on one hand, do you not?
No lo sé si la tendría en una o en las dos.
I don't know if he had it on one or on both.
Didn't you just testify that what the defendant was wearing in that last exhibit, that picture that you saw? Didn't you just testify that that is what he was wearing that day?
Dijimos que, dije, perdón. Am, ah, los anillos que tenía en la foto eran uno de tantos anillos que el señor tenía. Y dije que sí, a lo mejor fueron con esos o con unos más grandes que él tiene.
We said, or I'm sorry, I said that those rings were one of many that he has. It could have been those or maybe some bigger ones that he has.
Okay, well, let's clarify something here. When the state asked you if that was the type of beer that my client consumed, your answer was yes, one of many. You recall that?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now you're saying in addition to that, it's one of many rings he also wears, correct?
Sí.
Yes.
We'll pass the witness, John.
State.
No further questions no further questions at this time, Your Honor, but subject to recall.
All right, you're asking that this witness be subject to recall for the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you could step in the hallway for 5 minutes, please.
Wasn't sure what was going on. I was like, are we having any stuff out? Right. Oh, no, she.
Yeah, that's actually
able to come back.
Oh.
I don't need her today.
They only left you
Yeah,
there.
I just don't know if I'm gonna
after
need
they
her
could roll her. Oh.
for anything else about-
And I'm already like,
Yeah.
you know.
No, you're okay. I'm just gonna need a little bit of room right here.
You need to explain to her what subject to recall.
Excuse me.
So if for some reason we need you to come back, we'll ask you to come back.
Entonces, si es que por razón alguna necesitamos que usted regrese, le vamos a pedir que regrese.
But let her know that that's it for today.
But I don't need you more for today.
Pero eso ya es todo por el día de hoy. Que pase buen día.
And can we call her, we'll call her later this afternoon, or on Monday morning with an interpreter to give any further instructions.
Y entonces quizás le llamemos más tarde este mismo día o el lunes en la mañana o el día del lunes para darle más instrucciones y nos vamos a comunicar con usted por medio de un intérprete.
Okay.
Cuídate.
Dámela, por favor.
Vamos a atender.
Gracias.
Sí, yo lo agarro.
You are earning your paycheck. But I haven't turned on.
She didn't.
Yeah,
I'm working for it.
Or when do you?
2 hours.
Ah.
So 4
I don't
o'clock.
need that chair anymore.
Mhm. You have another witness coming in, right?
Yes, we have other witnesses, but
But they speak
all
English.
speak English, yeah.
So it's gonna be easier, like they'll just come in through here. Do you think?
Excuse me. Yes, I do think, unless the vote is wanting to come back on Monday. That might be something else for the court.
Okay, just like a little.
Yes. Yes. Probably like 5:30. All right, thank you.
Oh, yeah, in the small counties. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, no, sure.
Well, it was,
Just when they have
was
anything that
bugging
could make the
case.
jury more sympathetic, you know?
and I asked for like a bond.
It's not allowing.
Judge said no, and I get,
It's not, oh, let me do it.
I wasn't supposed to.
I think I
copy
have
that,
to send it.
Copy from the clerk. Yeah, way to stick with
Okay,
Okay.
all righty. Who's your witness?
Sonia Robinson, Your Honor.
Have her
Go ahead,
take the
Margaret.
stand. Yes.
I might have to run out or do not.
Oh, she's the 911. Like,
I'm going to, but like.
Okay.
By the time she comes in and does all that and.
Yeah.
Put on your shirt and then just adjust the mic as needed.
and it's LA space SONJA, right? Oh,
LASONYA. Capital S. If I can figure out how to get this. Okay, sorry, y'all.
there we go.
All right, yes, let's bring them in.
All rise for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated and call your next witness.
This time, Your Honor, state would call LaSonia Robinson.
If you could raise your right hand for me.
Yes, ma'am.
You solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. Just make sure you keep your voice up so everyone can hear. And if you'll state your name for the record.
LaSonia Robinson.
State you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Robinson.
Hello,
Can you please tell the jury, how are you employed?
SAPD Communications,
What's your position?
paralegal / custodian of records.
And what does that involve exactly? Could you explain that to the jury?
Maintenance and upkeep of all the 911 audio that comes in through the call center.
What types of records or documentation are generated when someone calls 911?
An incident detail report.
Can you please explain to the jury what that is?
That is the document that is generated once that 911 call is picked up by the call taker, and that's where she inputs all of her information, and that's where the dispatcher gets the information and relays it to the police officer.
I'm going to direct your attention to this case. Are you familiar with SAP numbers 2024 0615636? You have a copy of the incident use report, have refreshed your memory?
Yes.
Yeah, first witness, Sean?
Yes.
One five.
1-5. This is the May 4th. Ms. Robinson, I'm handing you in pre-marked as State Exhibit 15 for identification purposes. If you could please review that. Don't read from it directly, but then look back up after you have reviewed it.
Okay. Okay.
So, Ms. Robinson, has your memory now been refreshed?
Yes, it has. You gave me the CFS number and I was listening for the case number. I'm sorry.
My apologies. You're right. I read the wrong. Okay. Can you please tell me if there was a 911 call associated with that number?
Yes.
Can you tell me what date that call was made?
May 4th
Of which year?
of 24.
Thank you. Can you tell if that call was originated from Bear County, Texas?
Yes, by the address.
And so when a 911 call comes in, is a recording made of that call?
Yes.
That first one is game.
Yes.
I'm handing you, Ms. Robinson, what has been pre-marked as State Exhibit 13. Do you recognize this?
I do.
How do you recognize it?
I listened to it.
And what is it?
It is a copy of the 911 call.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of 911 call made on May 4th, 2024?
Yes.
To your knowledge, has that call been altered in any way?
No.
I'm going to tender to defense for any objection. Judge, when we approach.
Yes.
Ms. Robinson, you testified earlier that you had previously listened to this 911 call, correct?
Yes.
To your knowledge, does it only contain the English language on it?
No. It also has an interpreter from the language line solution.
Okay. Could you please explain to the jury what happens when a Spanish-speaking person calls into 911?
One of two things. If there's a Spanish speaker, 911 call taker, they'll transfer to them. If not available, they'll call this organization called Language Line Solutions, and an interpreter comes on, introduce themselves, give a ID number, and interprets that call, interprets what the caller is saying to the call taker.
So essentially, on the second line that you talked about, someone else has to come and join the call, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. To your knowledge, after listening to the call, was that done?
Yes.
And you had listened to it previously. Do you know, was the call able to be completed?
It was.
At any point was the call cut off?
At some, I believe, I listened to quite a few calls, and I know some of the calls had been cut off and they tried to call back and they were unable or unsuccessful to reach the original caller. With this particular call, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was completed. But I'm not sure.
Well, you have States Exhibit 15 in front of you. Could you use that to refresh your memory again about whether or not the call was completed or if it was cut off? And then look up when you finish.
Yes.
Okay, so can you now tell the jury if the call was completed, if it was cut off?
It wasn't, it must have been cut off or because it don't appear to have been completed because there was a call back to her.
Do you know how many attempts were made to call the original 911 caller back?
No.
But at least one attempt was made, correct?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, state will offer into evidence States Exhibit 13. Your Honor.
And States Exhibit number 13, is that what's alleged to be the 911 call?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense, do you have the same objections?
Same objection, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you can step outside for just 5 minutes.
All right, the jury.
All right, you may be seated. So with regards to interpretations, for example, it is the court's understanding of the law. If you have a document that is in Spanish, that has to be transcribed officially by an official person into the English language for the jury to hear it. This States Exhibit number 13,
Yes, Your Honor.
the court has received nothing and the jury has not received anything that states that Language Solutions, and I know what Language Solutions is, however, there is no one in here to say, and no witness to say, that this Language Solutions was a certified interpretation of what's on States Exhibit number 13. The foundation has been laid and authenticated that this is in fact the 911 call that was made. But the contents of it, as far as the Spanish translation, that hasn't been laid.
I understand, Judge.
May I respond briefly?
Yes.
I believe there was and is testimony on the record, though, from the victim herself that she listened to the call as well, and that she is the person on the call that is on the desk and that was talking to 911 dispatch.
All right, so with regards to the witness saying that she's the one who talked to dispatch, there's still an issue with the translation of it, unless I'm missing something.
Not at all, Judge. We understand.
All right, so if there is another witness that someone has to lay the foundation, then of course the court will hear that for the translation. All right, let's bring the jurors back in.
All right, for the jury.
All right, state you may continue.
Ms. Robinson, do you know if any additional calls were made associated with this case?
Yes.
Do you know when those calls were made?
The next day, May 5th, 2024.
Thank you. Going back to the first call from May the 4th, 2024. You mentioned earlier that the call was cut off.
Yes.
Do you know what time that call came in? Would it help if you refresh?
Yes.
Yeah, please do so, and then look back up at me. As you remember, refresh.
Yes.
Can you please tell the jury what time that call came in?
20:53
Which would
PM.
be-
Wait a minute. I think 8:53 PM.
Do you know what address that call came in from?
From the,
If you need to refresh your memory, please look at the IDO and look back up at me.
5755 Evers.
Could we elaborate further on exactly, again, what happens when someone of the non-English speaking language calls in to a 911 call? In this case, Spanish speaking. Once the interpreter gets on the line, can you please describe to the jury how things work at that point?
Once the interpreter gets on the line, the call taker asks the questions. And then the interpreter relays those questions to the caller. The caller answers the interpreter. The interpreter relays those answers to the call taker.
Okay. And is that the customary practice?
Yes.
So that happens in every 911 call that comes in when the caller is Spanish speaking or any other language other than English language, is that correct?
Yes, that's if there's no one on the floor who can speak that language.
Understood. Ms. Robinson, going back to the original call made on May 4th, 2024, do you know if officers were dispatched to the location that the call was made?
Well, I'm sure the call, I'm sorry, I don't understand the question because,
Yes, let me probably rephrase it. That might have been a little bit confusing. So on that May 4th, 2024 call, the first one that we talked about, after that call was attempted to be completed but couldn't, do you know if the dispatcher sent police to the address of where the call came
yes.
in? Okay. They will pass the witness at this time, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
No questions, John.
All right, you may be excused.
Thank you.
All right, state, call your next witness.
State calls Officer Beatty, Your Honor.
Actually, she accidentally took my mic.
Oh. Was on your tip on my.
Oh.
There you go.
Just give us a moment. We're waiting for Mike to come back.
Beatey.
Beatey, yes, ma'am.
Cindy, do you happen to have a second?
I do. That's what I was doing.
All right, thank you.
Can you clip that on? Find a spot here.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, and please keep your voice up so that everyone can hear.
Hi, my name is Officer Matthew Beatty. Work at San Antonio Police Department on the Peru B shift.
All right, state you may proceed.
Good afternoon, Officer Beatty. You said you work with SAPD,
Yes, ma'am.
and I believe you said B shift. What does that mean?
The B shift is the evening shift. I work from 1:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
All right, and is that your current duty?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been with SAPD?
SAPD, I started the academy in January 2023. And this September will be my 2-year mark post-graduation.
And how long is the academy?
Academy's about 9.5 months.
And what do you learn there?
Say that again, ma'am.
What do you learn there?
To summarize how to be a police officer, we learn penal code, arrest, search, and seizure, and everything that we need to enforce criminal law.
And you said that lasts about 9 months, so September 2023 is when you would have graduated-ish?
Correct. Yeah, September 2023.
All right. And then after you graduate, do you immediately become like a full-fledged police officer? Is there any probation period?
No, ma'am. So yeah, to become a San Antonio police officer, it's from the time you apply, it's about 6 months until you probably make an academy date. 9 months in the academy, and then it's about 3 months of ride-alongs with an FTO, and then after those 3 months, you're on a evals for 2 weeks,
Okay.
and after those evals, then you're on probation for a full year
For a full year, okay.
after the rides and evals.
So what is an FTO?
That's a field training officer.
What do they do?
That's someone that rides in the vehicle with you, someone that has gone to FTO school and has the approval of their supervisors that they are a competent officer that is able to teach new officers how to do our job.
And B shift, is that part of patrol?
Yes, ma'am.
As a patrol officer, what is your job?
To answer calls for service.
Would that be going out on calls where people have called into 911?
Yes, ma'am.
So essentially, if somebody calls into 911 and officers are dispatched, would you then be one of the officers dispatched?
Correct.
Okay. What district were you working?
On this one, I believe I was 7140. I think I was 141. At the time of this, I was on the T shift. I was not B shift at the time.
Understood. And we're saying at the time of this, around what date was this call?
It was May 2024.
Okay. And what does T shift mean?
T shift is some people call it the swing shift. It's the 10-hour, one of the 4 patrol shifts, but it's the 10-hour shift that runs from 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. It's kind of our busiest portion of the evening, where you have the highest call load for the city. It's just an extra shift of officers to help out.
So it's a very busy shift?
I would say so, yes.
So going back to May of 2024. Actually, is some states. 15. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Tony, what's been marked as State's Exhibit 15. Do you recognize what this is?
This would be our, what we call our key card.
Okay.
All the, what we get from dispatch that has all the details of where we're going, what we're doing.
Understood. You can use it to refresh your memory, just don't read directly from it.
Okay.
All right, for this case, what date were you dispatched?
May 4th, 2024.
And where were you dispatched?
On the address on here. So I have 5755 Evers Road, and it was more specifically the Yami's Indian restaurant that I believe is no longer there in that little strip.
Understood. Your Honor, may I approach again?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. Tony, what's been marked as State's Exhibit 16, do you recognize that, what's in the photo?
Yeah, I think I see the Yami's right there.
Okay, and does this photo accurately reflect the scene as you responded around that time?
It does.
Okay, at this time, State would offer State's Exhibit 16 into evidence pending any objection.
Yeah, no objection, Sean.
All right, and may I see it so I can put it on the notepad for me? Thank you. All right, State's Exhibit number 16 is admitted without objection. Yes.
Is this the scene that you responded to?
Where am I looking? Right here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and to be fair, at the time that you responded, would it have been this bright outside?
I don't remember if it was still daytime or not. I can check real quick. It's about 8:53, so it's probably a little darker than this, yes.
Probably a little darker, okay. And I don't know if you can point it out to us. What exact store did you respond to?
Yami's right there, the white sign. I can't tell if that's red lettering or not.
Where I'm pointing?
Correct, that's where you're pointing.
And then what is right next to it?
I can't tell what that is. It looks like barber poles though.
Okay. And just from your memory, what store is right next to Yami's?
I think it's a little mini mart, part of the gas station.
Okay. And then this is the India store?
Correct. And then I think there's a smoke shop on the far right end.
Gotcha. So when you responded to this scene, do you recall what you were dispatched for?
It was in a assault in progress as it showed up on my screen.
Okay. And were you given many other details?
No, it just said that someone had been hit and that the male was still there.
Okay. When you arrived, where did you go first?
When I arrived, I parked in the parking lot and then walked around to see if there was anyone standing around there. A lot of times when we show up, people flag us down, but shortly after I didn't see anyone, I walked into the Indian restaurant there, Yami's, or approached it, and I spoke to an employee, the owner, I'm not sure who it was, and asked if there was anyone inside, and he said it was there was nothing going on in there.
And when you got to the scene, were you alone?
No, I was with Officer Mata.
Okay. And When you got to the scene, I believe you said you looked around and you didn't see anything amiss.
No, I didn't see any signs of anyone in distress. There was no screaming, yelling, anything like that.
Okay. When you went into the store, and after you spoke with the owner, what did you do?
We just continued to look around for a period of time before we left.
Do you know about how long you were there?
I don't remember how long that was.
Do you recall if it was hours or a shorter time?
A shorter period of time, I would say under 10 minutes.
Okay. Could you hear anything coming? I'm sorry, let me rephrase that question. Can you hear anything when you got there? Did you hear anything at the scene?
Nothing that would alarm me to something was occurring there.
Did you attempt to go in any other stores?
Not that I can recall, no.
So you looked around the parking lot and went into Yami's, is that fair to say?
Yes, ma'am.
When you didn't find anything amiss, what did you do?
After we weren't able to make contact with essentially the caller, is what it comes out on our screen for C for our notes. After not finding anyone in distress, we left the scene thereafter.
Do you have any other involvement after that?
No, ma'am.
After you got into your car and left, what do you do with the call?
We clear the call.
What does that mean?
So either we clear it by a series of encodes, depending on what the call is going to be, or if we write a report on it, then we just try to clear it with the appropriate code that matches our type of report that or offense that we wrote the report under, which would essentially complete our call for service, if that's what you're asking.
Yes. What code did you write for this call?
I can check. Be in code 3, no complainant.
And so would there have been any other officers that came out to the scene or any other investigation pursuant to that code?
No.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, defense.
Afternoon, officer.
Afternoon, sir.
When you pulled up to the center, we had a picture of, were you in your car alone or did you have a partner with you?
I believe I was alone that day.
And you said you showed up with an Officer Mata?
Officer Mata, he was in his own vehicle.
Okay, he's in his own vehicle too. And I just want to make sure I heard you right. You said you looked around for about 10 minutes. Did I catch that?
It was sub 10 minutes,
Okay.
under 10. I don't know if it was 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but it wasn't very long.
But you got out of your vehicle?
We got out of our vehicle. Yes, sir.
Okay. You didn't happen to see anyone walking in the parking lot, did you?
I don't remember if I spoke with anyone in the parking lot, sir. Though the ones that caught my attention were obviously because of our call notes, the Yami's Indian restaurant. And that's what drew my attention towards that. So I walked that direction.
Okay. But if you had have seen something suspicious, you would have acted on that, would you?
Absolutely, sir. Yes.
I'll pass the witness, John.
All right, any further questions?
I just want to clarify, officer, you said it could have been 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but all of that was you getting there, looking around the parking lot and talking to the owner in the restaurant and leaving. Is that correct?
Yes, everything was brief.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused?
From the state, yes, Your Honor.
Judge, I'd like to keep him on recall.
All right, you'll be subject to recall. Just make sure you're available if either side wishes to recall you. And if you'll remove the microphone, please.
Your Honor.
Thank you. State, call your next witness.
State calls Officer Ruiz.
Yes. Release for today.
What's paperback? Subpoena for you for Monday as well, sir.
Yeah.
And excuse me, to the interpreter. Whenever you need a break, just let me know.
Your Honor, but I'm just struggling a little bit. It seems like there's a lot of feedback
I'll
coming
be,
from
Monday is my release, so I'll be off. So if you need anything, just leave.
Okay.
I think we're gonna wait till I get my switch down and the other first comes to first oven.
All right. Okay, thank you. Hello. If you take a seat here, please.
Put the mic on your collar and then you should adjust the microphone as well as needed.
Okay.
All right, if you can raise your right hand for me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Just make sure you keep your voice up so everyone can hear. And if you'll state your name for the record.
Nathan Ruiz,
All right, state, you may proceed.
Mr. Ruiz, how are you employed?
with the San Antonio Police Department.
And are you a certified peace officer?
Yes, ma'am.
What does that mean?
I am licensed in the state of Texas and commissioned through the city of San Antonio.
And what does it take to become a certified peace officer?
You would go through a hiring process. Once you get through the hiring process, it's a 8.5 month academy. And then you go through an FTO phase and then you get released onto the streets.
And how long have you been with SAPD?
Since January of 2023.
And is that after you graduated the academy?
I graduated the academy in November of 2023.
Okay.
So that was when I started the academy,
I understand.
January.
And then my understanding is you go through a FTO period, like you said. How long is that?
For 3 months, yes, ma'am. Mine was 2 months, because I was prior law enforcement.
Understood. And after the FTO period, what's after that? You said you
You get released to your permanent assignment,
understood.
basically patrol in whatever area they assign you to.
What assignments have you had at SAPD?
I went through FTO on West evening shift, and then I went to East night shift, and then I went to West evening shift, and then I went to Prue evening shift. I got released on Prue evening shift. Then right when I got off probation, I went to Prue Safe.
What is that?
It's a specialized unit within Prue, the area. It's all over San Antonio. Each substation has its own safe unit. It's just a community policing, if you will, unit to work that area.
And what's the difference between that and other regular policing?
So SAFE has a wide umbrella. It stands for San Antonio Fear-Free Environment. So they deal with directive patrols. They deal with immediate crime plans in the immediate area for like neighborhoods, businesses, communities, schools. It's a wide umbrella. So you can do from a puppet show or a school event to watching a narcotics house or prostitution or, you know, street narcotics dealers.
And all of those shifts that you just mentioned, are all those part of patrol?
I wouldn't, I don't, patrol is another assignment. Patrol's taking calls. You're not taking calls while you're on safe. For example, I'm on special assignment with street crimes right now. So I'm on another unit right now. So, and that, like, they're not taking calls either. You're responding to high priority or criminal targets, drug operations.
Understood. What was your duty in 2024, in May of 2024?
Patrol.
Patrol. And what do you do as a patrol officer?
Respond to calls of service
And how do those calls come in?
through 911.
And when somebody calls into 911, do you receive any sort of do you get any dispatch notes?
Call notes, like if it comes onto the call screen. Yes, there's sometimes, depending on the caller or what information's coming out, that's the information relayed to us. I believe it goes to like, I don't know exactly, but I know it goes through like dispatch, like a call center, if you will. So one person answers the call and then another dispatcher is giving us the information to send us to that location with whatever credible or pertinent information we need to know. Sometimes we have to ask, sometimes it's in there already.
And is that what comes up on like the computer in your car?
Yes.
Now, in May of 2024, were you dispatched for this case?
I believe so, yes.
Would it help refresh your memory if you had your report in front of you?
Sure.
May I approach your witness?
Yes.
I would say, Your Honor.
No problem.
Showing you what's been marked as States Exhibit 17. Do you recognize this?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can just refresh your memory, just don't read directly from it. What date were you dispatched?
May 5th,
Of what year?
2024.
Okay. And what location were you dispatched to?
5753 Evers Road.
And is that here in Bear County, Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And were you dispatched with anybody or were you by yourself?
Yes, I was in a 2-officer unit, so there was 2 of us working in the same vehicle. We do that when we're working like directive patrols or more proactive roles on patrol. So yes, I was working with another officer,
And who was that officer?
Officer Cody Ramon.
And when you were dispatched, do you recall what you did when you first arrived on the scene?
We went into it's a shopping center, strip center, of multiple businesses where the location took us. I wasn't really familiar with it. He wasn't really familiar with it. Sometimes it doesn't tell us the name of the business. It just gives us like 1, 2, 3, 4, or in this case, 5753 Evers Road. So unless you've been there before or you know that by heart, you're not gonna know what's at 5753, right? So we went to, it was an Indian restaurant, and we were looking for whatever call notes it had said in the call. We were looking to respond to the call. And it wasn't the location.
Understood. Your Honor, may I approach the
Yes.
thing?
Oh, and I'm sorry, could I have both parties approach just briefly? All right, State, you may proceed.
Thank you. Is this the location you responded to, Officer Ruiz?
Yes, ma'am.
I apologize, we can't do much about the glare that's there. Would this be the store that you entered in first?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is the store next to this? I'm sorry.
If you're fine, I can move. I think that's the barber shop, yeah.
And if it would
I
help
can
you-
see the little, what are they, candy cane looking things on the barber shop sign?
Gotcha. So this would be the barber store?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you need to step down to view it on the Elmo, you're more than welcome to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Officer Ruiz, I'm showing you what's marked as State's Exhibit 18. Do you recognize this?
Yes,
Okay, and is this the scene as you responded that day?
yes, sir.
Has it been changed or altered in any way? Okay, state offers State's Exhibit 18 into evidence pending any objection.
No objection, Sean.
All right, State's Exhibit number 18 is admitted without objection.
All right. And so is this a better picture of the store that's right next to the Indian store?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what was it?
What was what?
What is this store right there?
That's a barber shop,
All right, and do you know the name of the store?
Latin Flow.
And who do we see pictured in this on that bench?
The female with the red hair is the complainant and her son.
Okay, and is that who you spoke to after coming out of the Indian store?
Yes,
When you approached her, were you able to speak with her freely?
no, there was a language barrier. I mean, I could speak with her, but there was a language barrier.
And what do you mean by that?
She spoke Spanish, and I'm not fluent in Spanish.
Understand.
I can ask like basic questions like what's your name or something like that.
Gotcha. And when that happens, what next steps do you take?
We usually will ask for a translator, an officer who can speak Spanish.
Did you do that in this case?
Yes,
Did an officer respond?
2 officers, yes.
Who were those officers that responded?
Officer Marchand and Officer Vaitia.
And when you have officers who are translating for you, can you just walk us through how that process would work?
So usually, depending on the scenario, if it's just like IDing somebody, they won't stick around. If I need them to ask, like if it was like a DWI, they're gonna ask certain questions. But I'm still gonna write and do most of the case. They're gonna ask the pertinent questions towards the DWI in that case. In something like this, I think me and my partner could see that this was a family violence call, and there was going to be questions that needed to be answered in detail, based on the significance of the crime, and we didn't want to confuse her or anybody else or ourselves or put anything wrong. So we requested for a Spanish speaking officer so we can get accurate information. Plus there's forms coming up that we need to fill out. Having CSI come out, take pictures. There's other work that needed to be done that we could have done, that we did do, while officers who spoke Spanish could get the details of the situation.
Understood. So when you are trying to complete the investigation, are you asking those officers questions that you want to ask the complainant?
Sometimes you can, sometimes those officers know what to say or ask also. And if they're getting the information, then we don't push it.
And in this case specifically, was what the complainant was saying having to be translated through either Officer Marchand or Officer Beitia to you?
Yes, but at a different moment, because I believe we let them kind of conduct their investigation on the family violence side, like portion of it. At that time, we were gonna get information to go look for the other party involved. Because there was an assault and the level of the offense, we were going to try to detain that person and get information from that person. So we left.
Where did you go?
Well, we were waiting because while he's asking these questions, or they're asking questions on what happened, we also were trying to get information from them, like what does he drive, where does he live, what does he look like, do you have any pictures of him, do you have pictures of his cars, stuff so we can find him.
And at some point in your investigation, did you leave this location?
Yes, once I recognized through the translators, through the other officers, that one of the scenes of the assaults took place at the barber shop and that they worked together, I knew we needed to get away from there because information was coming to me slowly. I didn't know where he was around or if he was around. And I didn't want him, what if he's across the street? What if he's next door? I didn't know.
So for safety,
of her and us and the child.
where did you go after this location?
It's near the subway off of, I think this is Wurzbach and Medical.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we're having an audio problem.
Oh,
All right,
apologies.
just give us a moment.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you know how to spell Marchand?
Marchand.
And Officer Lathia?
Veytia,
Oh.
Veytia. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we're ready. I'm sorry. Good.
Is everything working now? All right, we shall see. All right, you may proceed. State, ask your question, please.
About how far away was that second location that you that you went to?
It wasn't far, it was in the same district. I don't know the distance. 2 miles, 3 miles.
Oh, okay. Was it a long drive or a short drive?
It was a short drive. It was a short drive out of the view of this location.
Understood. And at that point, who was primarily conducting the investigation?
Officer Marchand and Officer Veytia. And the CSI was meeting us there, so they also joined the investigation on their end.
Who was the CSI that joined?
I don't know his name, but he's there to take pictures. CSI Rodriguez. I know for it.
All right, and while they were doing, most of the investigation there, where did you and Officer Ramon go?
So if I recall correctly, we went and met them there, and then CSI showed up to take pictures and further their investigation. I contacted the follow-up unit, which is the detectives who are going to overlook this type of crime, if you will, to get some direction on what they wanted us to do to proceed, if we contacted the other party. Also, we were waiting for information because it wasn't as easy as me asking a question and getting an answer. I was waiting to see if the officers had that information yet from her, while also CSI is asking their questions to her. But once we got his location or residence, I think it was off of Horizon Hill. We went to his.
To that area, is that area in Bear County?
Yes.
How far, if you know, how far is that Horizon Hill area from the barber shop here?
It's within driving, it's not far. So I work through both of these, or all three locations that we visited, or four, I guess, locations in this scenario or in this call. We're all in Peru. So all within our call service area.
So earlier you depicted you were waiting on information from the complainant. But to clarify, the CSI was also talking to her, as well as Officer Marchand and Bethia were talking to her?
Yes, in different moments. So part of our investigation as officers, we're going to ask questions, and once the offense meets certain criteria, we're going to start, I guess, checking off boxes on things to do. For example, if we're going to get them like a victim's rights card or a domestic violence brochure, if we're going to have them fill out a threat assessment form, like a TA form, or just different things that we need to, by policy, have to fill out, or have to at least attempt to fill out, because it is the complainant's right to refuse. So we have to do that, along with CSI, I'm sure, has his own stuff that he has to do per his policy. I don't know what that is, but I would assume he does.
In this case, you mentioned a 2089. How many 2089 forms are there?
I believe one.
I'm sorry,
One.
one, and what is that form?
It's like it's a form based off the family violence incident that occurred, indicating like the basic information of the victim, the suspect, the injuries, where it took place, has it happened before, different questions that pertain and might get more information that could be lost in translation or lost in the moment, that we can ask if, in case the officer missed, or somebody can ask on paper, and that gets sent off to the specialized unit.
On that 2089, is there an area for the complainant to write down what happened in their own words?
Yes, the narrative.
And in this case, was a 2089 completed?
Yes.
And what happens to, actually, I'll withdraw that question. Okay, so after you, at some point, did you return back to the secondary location where the investigation was being conducted?
I believe on our way back from checking the Horizon Hill address, we had officers, since they were done, meet us at her residence which was a separate, an apartment, a different apartment, to make sure that was safe and that somebody wasn't inside. So we had to go clear that, and then we released her at her apartment with her son.
And then after that, what involvement did you have?
None.
When you arrived at the scene, I'm sorry, how many officers were there at the scene while y'all were investigating?
In total,
Yes, sir.
4.
4? And then when the CSI got there, afterwards,
Yeah, he got to the second location. I think he was by himself.
were any of the officers that arrived female?
I don't recall a female. I don't see a female, no. Listed in our.
Do you get called out to a lot of family violence calls?
I would say so.
And in your training and experience, are female complainants generally comfortable talking about what happened with male officers?
Sometimes no.
Did you observe any injuries on the complainant this day?
Yes.
Now, were you able to, when you are making your report, what complainant's name did you list in your report?
Daniela Contreras Perez.
And is that the correct complainant in this case?
No. I know through I do recall through like the language barrier and the 2 officers as they were getting information that the information that we put into the Mark 43 report as far as the name was incorrect.
What about the phone number? Was that incorrect?
I don't believe so. I think it was correct.
You don't believe it was correct?
No, I think it was correct, but that. Oh, right here. No, so.
On that 2089 form, does it give the complainant the opportunity to write her identifying information?
Yes. I don't see a phone number for the complaint on the Mark 43 report.
So there was no phone number listed for her.
No.
The barber shop, is that here in Bear County?
Yes. I know I can't remember if she gave her phone number, but I know I think she didn't have a phone. That was another issue because they were both broken by.
Understood. What was her demeanor like throughout your time with her during this investigation?
She seemed scared, quiet. Again, I was kind of observing because I couldn't speak Spanish fluently, so other officers were asking those questions and we left. But she seemed scared and quiet, I would say.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
Afternoon, officer. When. I want to make sure I get my timing right here on how things happen. Forgive me. Was your testimony, you showed up first and then the other officers showed up, the ones that spoke Spanish? Is that correct?
Yes.
The call for service was for an assault, was it not?
I don't have the call for service on here. Like the call note. Or the call screen.
I approach the witness, Sheriff.
Yes.
You get that. Okay. Suffice it to say, you were there to investigate an assault, is that correct?
Say the first part again.
You were at the location to investigate an assault?
I believe so.
Your knowledge was anything mentioned about a sexual assault?
Not to my recollection, no.
Anything mentioned about a kidnapping?
Are you asking in like the questioning of her or in the
Yes.
call note?
In the questioning of her? No,
I didn't
sorry.
question her.
Okay. Was information relayed to you from Officers Marchand and Officer Vedia?
Objection to hearsay. Oh, apologies.
All right, that objection will be overruled. You can answer, but you're not allowed to say what anyone said, but you can directly answer his question.
That was just a question. Was information relayed to you? From
Yes.
the other officers?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Just briefly, Your Honor. Who would you say out of Marchand and Vathia mostly was asking the questions?
From what I remember, it was Officer Marchand.
And is Officer Marchand still with the department?
No.
And more questions. Is a blade capable of causing death or serious bodily injury?
Blade,
Mhm.
like a
A razor blade or?
razor blade?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What about scissors? Are those capable of causing death or serious bodily injury?
Yes.
The state will pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused?
From the state, Your Honor, yes.
Defense as well, Judge.
All right, you may step down. I'll leave the microphone behind if you would, please. All right, state, call your next witness.
State calls Officer Rodriguez.
Yes, thank you. Oh, just leave it with the court reporter.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes. All right, everyone, please be seated. And ladies and gentlemen, we've changed the interpreter, and he's been placed under oath as well. State, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Rodriguez, where were you employed in May of 2024?
With the San Antonio Police Department, the city of San Antonio.
And how were you employed there?
I was a part of the crime scene unit as a crime scene investigator with the San Antonio Police Department.
And what does a crime scene investigator do?
We do everything from documenting crime scenes, collecting evidence, identifying evidence, fingerprints, for the eventual court date eventually.
And how long were you a CSI? How long had you been a CSI for in May of 2024?
Right around 7 years.
And in May of 2024, did you have the opportunity to go out to a scene?
Yes.
For this case?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the case number associated with this case?
I don't recall from the top of my head.
Would it refresh your memory to have a copy of your report?
Yes.
You have been marked as State's Exhibit 19 for identification purposes. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, it looks like my report.
Okay, you can refresh your memory, just don't read directly from it.
Okay.
What was the police report number or the case number associated?
SAPD 2409-8444.
And what date were you dispatched?
May 5th, 2024.
And when you were dispatched, what was your primary objective? What were you there to do?
I believe it was a family violence call. It came out and I was requested by the officers on scene to photograph a victim.
And did you in fact take photos?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall who you spoke with on that day?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Do you recall the complainant that you took pictures of?
Yes, actually in my report, I made contact with an officer, Ramon.
Understood. And when did you eventually make contact with the complainant in this case?
Yes.
Did you observe any injuries to the complainant?
And I believe I saw some redness on her face.
In your experience, officer, in taking photos of injuries, do injuries get worse over time before they get better?
Yeah, as far as their like discoloration and
Yes, sir.
yes, yeah, they develop more over time.
So right after something happened, may not be as visible as a couple days later.
Correct.
Showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 20, 21, and 22. Do you recognize these?
Yes.
Okay. And what are they?
Photos of victim and a photo board. Oh, complainant, yes.
And are these the same pictures that you took on May 5th of 2024?
Yes.
And do they fairly and accurately depict how she looked on that date?
Yes.
Okay, state would offer into evidence State's Exhibits 20, 21, and 22, pending any objection.
No objection on it.
All right, if I could see the exhibits.
Keep forgetting, Your Honor. I
No,
apologize.
that's okay. All right, State's Exhibit number 20, 21, and 22 are admitted without objection.
May we publish, Your Honor?
Yes.
And is this the injury you observed on the complainant?
Yes,
And is this a full body, what you would call a full body picture of the complainant?
yes, ma'am.
Why do you take this picture right here?
You want to take a full body photo just to show the person that you're photographing?
And was there an indication that there were other injuries for the complainant?
I believe she mentioned she had other injuries, but she didn't want me to photograph them.
Okay. And as a male CSI, are there any policies that you have to follow when photographing female complainants?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. In training, they always told us never to make her like strip down or photograph any private areas of the opposite sex.
And when you were here taking pictures for this case, what location were you at when you were taking these pictures?
I have to look at my report. I believe it was somewhere on Evers.
And I guess, I mean, was it inside or outside?
Oh, outside.
Okay. In the public?
Yes, I believe it was a parking lot.
And so would you ask anybody to take off their clothes in that type of locale?
No,
Given that you are a male officer and there was a female complainant, did you offer, or I guess, what are the options that you give complainants to get pictures of their other injuries?
so I will tell them they can photograph it themselves and keep the photos in case the detective wants to see it. Or I can call a female CSI or UEDI out there and they can do it themselves if the complainant's comfortable with that.
And on this date, do you recall how many female CSIs were working?
I believe just one.
And that would be for the entire San Antonio area?
Yes, one female CSI for the whole area.
And if you recall, did the complainant have anybody with her?
I don't remember.
Would the complainant have had to wait until that female CSI was available?
Yes, most likely.
And the other option was to take pictures by herself?
Yes.
After you took these pictures, what was your involvement in this case?
I would write my report, upload the photos. That'd be it, basically.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Afternoon, sir.
Sir?
I believe the state was talking about waiting for a female CSI to take pictures of females and such. Did you give her that option to wait?
I believe I did.
And she decided not to. Is that correct?
I don't know if she waited around or not.
Okay. That's what it said.
And I apologize, just very briefly, Your Honor. Officer, or Mr. Are you still an officer?
No, I was calling investigator at this time.
Thank you. Investigator Rodriguez, do you speak Spanish?
No,
And so were you having to use other officers to translate what you wanted from the complainant?
yes,
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused?
From the state, yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. If you'll leave the microphone behind, please, and you're excused. State, call your next witness.
State calls Officer Garcia.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Thank you. Yes. And if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give would be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that everyone can hear. And if you'll state your name for the record.
Maritza Garcia.
All right, you may proceed.
Ms. Garcia, how are you employed?
I'm sorry,
How are you employed?
I'm a police officer with the San Antonio Police Department.
Are you a certified police officer?
Yes, ma'am.
And so Officer Garcia, what do you do at the San Antonio Police Department?
I am currently on the mental health unit.
And in May of 2024, what was your duty assignment?
I was a police officer for the Peru CRT follow-up unit.
And as a police officer for the CRT follow-up unit, what would you do?
I would follow up with complainants on cases of misdemeanors for family violence.
And what was the purpose of your follow-up?
My office had received a offense report for a misdemeanor case, and so we contact the victim, the complainant, to ensure that they're safe and to see if they'd like to pursue with charges.
Understood. And what was the case number that's associated with this case?
I don't recall that.
Would it help refresh your memory to have a copy of your report?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's been marked as States Exhibit 23. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and if you want to just refresh your memory, don't read directly from it. What was the case number associated with this case?
The case number is SAPD 24098444.
And in this case, did you make a call pursuant to your job description?
Yes, I did.
What date did you make that call?
On May 6, 2024.
And the purpose of that call, was that just pursuant to your job as you stated earlier?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you call the correct victim? Or I'm sorry, complainant?
I'm not sure. I called the complainant that was listed on the report.
And so if an incorrect complainant was listed on the police report, that would be who you called.
That's correct.
After you call or make contact with the complainant, what other involvement do you have in the case?
That's the only involvement I have.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
Afternoon, Officer Garcia.
Afternoon.
When you were performing your duties on May 2024, do you recall who you called in this case?
I contacted the initial complainant that was listed on the offense report.
Okay. And did you ask this person if she was in a relationship with the suspected person?
Yes, I did.
And what was her response?
Objection to hearsay, Your Honor.
That would be sustained.
You asked her if she wanted to pursue with charges, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you didn't get a positive response, did you?
Objection to hearsay, Your Honor, or calls for hearsay.
Response.
We're not asking for what the words were saying, Your Honor. We're just asking if she got a positive response or not.
All right, that will be sustained.
You never confirmed that the person you contact was the correct person, did you?
Only verbally on the phone.
Only, I'm sorry, you said only verbally on the phone?
On the phone.
Pass the witness, John.
And just briefly, Officer Garcia, the person that you verbally confirmed on the phone would be the complainant that was listed in the original offense report.
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions.
All right, any further questions?
You were never given any instructions or indications to move forward with this case, did you?
Objection to hearsay, speculation.
Overruled.
No, sir.
Pass the witness, Judge.
All right, state.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused?
From the state, yes.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. If you'll leave the microphone behind. All right, state, call your next witness.
State would call Detective Lopez.
And that microphone to your top and then just adjust the microphone as needed.
All right, if you can raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll make sure you keep your voice up so that everyone can hear. If you'll state your name for the record.
Angela Lopez.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Detective Lopez, how are you employed?
It's echoey. What was the question?
Oh, how are you employed?
I work for the San Antonio Police Department.
And at the San Antonio Police Department, what do you do?
I am a detective and I investigate dating and family violence cases.
And at what level offense do you investigate dating and family violence cases?
Misdemeanors.
And is there a difference in the way misdemeanors and felonies are investigated?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you just name a few differences?
With
with felony cases, a lot of times they're considered hot cases when they come in. For us, they're all misdemeanors, meaning they're not as severe. I mean, they're all it's domestic violence, they're all severe, but they're not, the injuries might not, or the situation might not be as extensive as it is with a felony.
And at the CRT unit that you work for, what does that stand for?
Crisis response team?
And is that due to the nature of the offenses that you investigate?
Yes, ma'am.
And as a detective investigating misdemeanor cases, do those come to you? You mentioned hot case. What is a hot case? And then what type of cases do you handle?
So the detectives in the SVU unit typically, when a hot case comes in, meaning something that just happened and it's pretty extreme, they will handle it right then and there. For us, they're misdemeanors. They're just assigned to us, a day or two later by our supervisor.
And so this is after something has already occurred.
Yes, ma'am.
In this case, what was the case number?
I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's 24-098-444.
Would it help refresh your memory if you had the report in
Yes.
front of you? Okay, John, you what's been marked as States Exhibit 24. Do you recognize this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you can refresh your memory, just don't read directly from it.
Okay.
And was the case number you gave us correct?
Yes.
It was. Initially, when you started this investigation, were you having any trouble getting a hold of the complainant?
So initially, when the case gets assigned to me, we like to get in contact with our victims within the first 24 to 48 hours to make sure they're safe, see if they need shelter, if they need to go to the women's shelter, any sort of resources. So we're busy. So a lot of times our officers that we have assigned to our unit will call for me. And when I got this case, I noticed that it said the victim didn't know anything about what was going on, or didn't make the phone call, didn't call the police or make a report. So I found that odd. So I believe I spoke to Leticia, who is one of our Metro Health advocates.
And what is a Metro Health advocate? What do they do?
Metro Health, they're civilians that are assigned to our unit that help with resources, whether it be shelter, counseling, Ring door cameras, phones. A lot of times, the victim's phone will have been broken, or, door stoppers, different resources that are available to the victim to help them out.
Understood. And so you made contact with Leticia to do what?
To see because they also have to get a hold of the victim, and to see if she was able to get a hold of her, and to see if we had the same person's name, because it was odd that the person said that she was not the one that called the police.
And the complainant, did you come to find out that that was the same person that was called?
No, it turned out to be the person that Officer Garcia called was just some person that was listed by accident on the police report, from what I remember. I don't remember the reason why or how that name came about, but because of the 2089 DV statement that the victim made, we used that information, that name and phone number to get in contact with her.
And the 2089 DV, what is that form?
It's a statement, it's a form where the victim will write down it's basically like a statement saying everything that happened that day, identifying themselves and identifying who the suspect is in the relationship.
And just because of this, the stage that we're in, it's complainant, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so that form, that 2089 DV has gives the complainant the opportunity to write down everything that happened
Yes,
in addition to her identifying information
yes,
or their identifying. Did you use this form to help get in contact with the correct complainant?
yes, ma'am.
And were you able to make contact with the correct complainant?
Yes, Leticia was able to get a hold of her and told me that she was gonna be coming in the following day. So I said, okay, fine, I will just contact her the next day to find out exactly what happened. And
And you may have said this earlier, I may have missed it. Does Leticia speak Spanish?
yes,
Okay, do you speak Spanish?
I speak Spanish, but it's not as good as Leticia's.
Understood. On what date were you able to make contact with the complainant in this case through Leticia?
On May 17th, 2024, she came in that morning.
And so you said initially, did you make contact with her the day before?
No, Leticia made contact with her.
Okay. When you made contact with her on May 17th of 2024, did you take a formal statement in an interview room that was recorded?
No,
Did you use a formal interpreter to speak with the complainant?
it was just, I mean, I can speak Spanish, but Leticia was there with us also.
But no formal statement in like an interview room?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Were you able to collect any photographs from the complainant?
Yes, she emailed me a picture. Well, she showed me the pictures that she had taken of herself, but then I had her email them to me so I can upload them.
And what do you do as your investigation, just in a typical case?
Basically, when it gets assigned to me, I triage it. I go over everything that the initial officer that called for me, our CRT officer that called for me, go over the answers and then see if they do want to press charges or don't. Like I said, this one was confusing because the victim that Officer Garcia had spoken to didn't know, said she hadn't made the report. So, but normally I'll triage it, see if they do or don't want to do anything regarding pressing charges. And then I'll review the case as far as looking at pictures, reading over the statement, seeing if everybody can be identified. And then just go from there.
And if this was a felony investigation, would they have presumably spoken with the complainant in an interview room with an official interpreter?
Yes, it would have been handled totally different.
And in this case, did you review everything that already had been completed?
I reviewed most of it, yes.
Okay. What did you review?
I reviewed the police report and the victim's photos and the statement, her 2089 statement.
The 2089 statement, was that written in English or Spanish?
In Spanish.
Did you have any help interpreting that statement?
Yes, Leticia, I mean, I read it because I can read it, but I wanted it done correctly. So I had Leticia translate it for me.
At what level offense did this case initially come in to you?
As a misdemeanor, just assault, family violence, married.
Okay. And after interpreting the statement, did you determine that a different charge should be added?
Yes, because of,
And we don't have to get into what
Okay.
anybody said.
Okay.
Just that's the question. As part of your investigation, do you have the complainants identify the person who is alleged to have hurt them?
yes, ma'am.
And typically, how would you do that identification process?
Typically, I will get, if they don't already have a mugshot on file, I will request through our fusion unit, a picture of their driver's license or their driver's license picture. And then I will do a single photo lineup.
What is a single photo lineup?
Basically, we pretty much know who the suspect is. So I will show them a picture of him just to verify who they are.
Okay. And was that done in this case?
Yes.
And after you review everything, and kind of put together everything, in typical cases, what choices do you have after the case has been reviewed?
Depending on whether the victim or the complainant wants to press charges or not, will determine how I close the case or not. If they want to move forward with pressing charges, then I will file the case at large.
And do you file every case that comes to you?
No, not every.
And I'm sorry, you mentioned a term there. You said you could file the case in a typical investigation at large. What does that mean?
Okay, so if the person wasn't arrested initially at the scene, or if I didn't walk a warrant on it, I filed the case, meaning I put the entire case together, the investigation together, and then I send it over to the DA's office.
And then at that point, does the DA's office review the case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And officially, would it be the DA's office then who determines what charges are correct?
Correct.
Did you ever meet the complainant in this case?
Did I ever meet the complainant?
Mhm.
Like in person?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, she came into the substation on several occasions.
When she came in, what was her demeanor like?
Quiet, timid, scared.
Were you able to observe any visible injuries on her?
Yes, she still had bruising on her face, from what I can remember, and then she had a lot of bruising throughout her body on her torso.
Showing you what's been admitted into evidence already as State's Exhibits 1 and 2. Are these injuries you observed?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What did you find from the crime scene search report?
As far as, I'm not, what's?
Did you review it?
Yes,
Okay, so you recall what it turned up?
the crime scene search, the CSSR, is that what you're
Yes,
asking?
ma'am.
I would have to review it and look for it. I don't remember.
Did you reviewed all the reports from the officers, from the first initial contact that made the basis of this allegation, is that correct?
Yes,
And then, you said you just said you interviewed or met with the complaining witness several times after that, correct?
about 2 or 3 times.
So did she tell you she was assaulted?
Did she tell me?
Objection to hearsay, Your Honor. I apologize. Objection to hearsay, Your Honor.
Response to the objection to hearsay.
We're not asking for the truth of the matter asserted, Judge.
All right, that will be sustained.
It was your understanding that she was assaulted, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did she, let me rephrase, sorry. Do you have the authority to issue search warrants or to request search warrants, I should say?
A search warrant?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have the authority to, in your position, to request crime scene photos?
Yes.
Did you attempt or have other officers under your supervision attempt to find any neighborhood cameras of this incident? Of the location where the incident allegedly happened?
No, sir.
Did you have anybody under your supervision inspect the premises of the location of where this allegedly happened?
No, sir.
Did you attempt to get a search warrant for the barber shop?
For the barbershop? No.
Did you attempt to get a search warrant for my client's apartment?
No, sir.
Did you take any DNA samples or have DNA samples taken for you
No, sir.
for investigation? Were latent prints ordered to be taken?
No, sir.
No fingerprinting services? You never received any information that the complaining witness was sexually assaulted vaginally, did you?
Objection to hearsay, Your Honor, or calls for hearsay.
Overruled.
You can answer the question.
Repeat the question?
Hope I say this right again. Did you receive any information indicating that the complaining witness was sexually assaulted vaginally?
When I finally had read over her statement, it was apparent that she had been sexually assaulted.
Okay. But there was no verbal indication, correct?
Well, after I asked, well, once I read that, I had let the contact her to find, so she could clarify that a little better.
That was the only source?
From the victim?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Were there any other allegations made
As far as, well,
as far as the sexual assault?
no.
No SANE exam was done in this matter, you recall?
No, no, sir.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what a SANE exam is?
The SANE exam is basically when a complainant or victim, is sexually assaulted and they're taken over to the hospital to be examined, physically examined.
Do you know if one was even requested of the complaining witness?
No, sir. By the time we figured that out, it was days after the actual incident. So that's why there was no search warrant. That's why things were handled the way they were.
But no steps were taken initially, correct?
No, I'm sorry, my hearing is not very good.
I'll speak louder.
Thank you.
All right, if you'll speak into the microphone.
Is that better?
Yes.
None of these things were ever requested initially, were they?
No.
We'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, just briefly, Your Honor. Detective Lopez, you said when defense was attempting to clarify whether the complainant told you whether or not she was sexually assaulted, who did you receive that information from?
That she was sexually assaulted?
Yes,
It was, I got it from her statement.
understood. And then, when you had Leticia call to verify, were you able to confirm that she was sexually assaulted?
Yes, ma'am.
If you know, was the complainant able to give any details, or was the call just to confirm a sexual assault had taken place?
She gave me details, but it was pretty much what she had written on her statement.
And would a SANE exam, well, let me back up. When was the first contact you had with the complainant?
The first contact I had with her was on the 17th. Yeah, May 17th.
And when was the offense date?
I don't have the actual offense report.
Would it help refresh your memory to, I apologize, can you turn to page 1 of your report?
Page 1 of my report. Uh-huh.
And what date were officers dispatched?
On May 5th.
And so from May 17th, would a SANE exam have been beneficial at that point?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
All the evidence has basically been washed away and it's gone.
Defense was talking about whether you checked neighborhood cameras or inspected the premises of the barber shop or attempted to get DNA samples or prints, or all those things that may have been done in a felony investigation.
Yes. Can I explain something?
No, you have to listen to the question,
Okay.
ask the question that's asked of you.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
Detective, I heard something, I want to make sure I heard it right. I believe you and counsel for the state said TCI verify. Did I hear that right?
No, I didn't say anything about TCI.
Leticia.
Okay. And you said Leticia, excuse me, confirmed a sexual assault?
Correct.
Okay. You know how she confirmed the sexual assault?
Over a phone call
To whom?
to the complainant.
That's the witness, yeah.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused?
From the state, yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, she's excused.
All right, you may step down, leave the microphone behind, please. State, call your next witness.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes. All right, state, call your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would rest.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to come back on Monday at 1:30, and at 1:30, we will continue to proceed with trial. Remember my instructions, you're not to view anything or watch anything about this case. Do not Google anything about this case. Everything that you need to know about this case is to come from inside the courtroom. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
All right, then have a good weekend. Everyone, please rise for the jurors.